of the marketer would look forward for, that how to have a better user experience, right? And user engagement using the web version for a better response rate, right? Also, when we talk about the marketing is no longer only concentrating upon the fact that, what the user wants, right? There are like a lot of element that comes in place, right? Product plays a really crucial role in making any marketing campaigns really lucrative and making it successful. I'll give you an example. Like, say for example, I mean, when you talk about taxations, right? Taxation is a really difficult piece, right? And especially the ITR piece, right? People still get very hesitant in filing their ITR by their own, right? So we have actually launched a platform where it is absolutely free of cost and it is absolutely easy to do it. However, while I'm talking to any of my partners and whenever we are launching any of the marketing campaigns, right? So right now, when I say, it is not just the marketing, but the product marketing plays a really important and crucial role. Why? Because right now, I mean, we absolutely get into the API integrations and stuff, right? For creating a better user journey. Plus, it is the next move, right, from the traditional way of marketing of emails and notifications. So net, if I have to tell you, I have mentioned you guys 5 ways of reinventing the marketing in the coming future. So that's a bit from me.
Thank you so much, Avantika, for giving us those very valuable tidbits from world marketing to engagement, etc., and talking about metabase and blockchain. Very insightful. In fact, I was reading somewhere it said content is king, but engagement is queen, and it's always the queen who rules the house. So, very true. And you are talking about voice marketing. In fact, in the last 1 week itself, I've been having some experiences with my Amazon Alexa device. The other day, I asked Alexa, "Can you play me a lullaby? I want to sleep." And she said, whenever I play a lullaby, even I feel sleepy. But since you're asking me, I'll still play it. And I was shocked. And the
Yeah,
other day when I was, yeah, they have 3,000 skills in Alexa now. And the other
absolutely.
day I asked her, Alexa, can you open this Audible Suno, this app? And she said, your voice seems to be angry. Do you want me to play you a soothing song instead? And my God, okay, that's the level of artificial intelligence and that's the level of
Yes.
engagement. So with that perspective, let's move to the next person in the panel who's in fact a search engine guru and has the expertise to talk about search engine and digital marketing. So let's call him CM Manjunath. Manjunath?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me here, first of all. If you want to hide a dead body, where would you hide it in today's world? You'd probably do it on page number 2 of Google search results because nobody goes there. It's easy to hide. Hi, my name is CM Manjunath. I'm a digital marketing trainer. I've been training since 2015. Over 4,000 people from across the world. So I'm going to share my 2 cents here. I'm going to share my screen. Please let me know if you can see the screen all right. Is this visible? Please give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen all right. Perfect. Thank you very much. Now, regardless of how much technology we get into, how much artificial intelligence comes into picture into our lives, marketing has been and will continue to be about the people. So as you can see the mind map right now, I've opened with people, I'm going to close with people because it's about human beings, it's about people. This is one of my favorite definitions from Philip Kotler. The science and art of exploring, creating, and delivering value to satisfy the needs of a target market at a profit. That's what marketing is. It's important for us to remember this because regardless of which channel you use, whether it's print media, digital, TV, radio, it does not matter. What matters is the people at the heart of everything. So if you want to market successfully, then you've got to understand who your target market is. That's very important. What are some of their desires, needs, wants, problems? The better you understand, the higher the probability of you succeeding with your marketing, your sales, and business overall. I'm sure you agree with this. So, marketing is both science and art. It's about understanding your customers' needs, exploring, creating, and delivering that value. What is value? Solving that problem, satisfying the needs of your customer. Never changes. That's my opinion. So, what is digital marketing? Now, when I teach students, they're like, oh, digital marketing is this out of the world, new technology stuff. But I always tell them it is not about that. It is not about that. I'm telling you right now. Digital marketing is using the digital channels to solve your target customer's problem. Remember this and you'll do well. I promise you that. It's about your customer, their needs, understanding their requirements, desires, solving their problems effectively using digital channels is all digital marketing is about. Now, some of you or most of you would have already used Google for years now, but I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to go to Google, just show you a keyword called like email marketing. Okay, now this is a search phrase. We also call that keywords or key phrase in the world of SEO and search engine marketing. Now, right up here, you see there are 4 advertisements. And then after that come the organic results. And usually there are 10 organic results. In today's world, because you use Google almost every single day, and Google says an average human being searches about 150 to 200 times a day to find answers to their questions. Google calls this micro moments. So we're all having these micro moments throughout the day, wherever you are, United States, Singapore, Philippines, Pakistan, English, India, it does not matter. We all do the same thing. We go through Google to find answers, to find what we are interested in. What Google wants you to do is to do really good content. If you create useful content for people and publish it on your website, if it answers the questions people pose, like so, right? Email marketing, whatever I search for, Google is going to try and match that key phrase, the search query, to show you the most relevant, most useful result. You see, I'm going back to what I was talking about. It's about people. Now, Google doesn't care about my website. Google doesn't care about your website. But what does Google care about is the end users. People come to Google with problems, with questions. And Google wants to show the most accurate result, most relevant, useful results for you. So, as a digital marketer, it is important for you to get your website. I apologize. So as a digital marketer, it's important for you to realize that getting your website to rank high on Google search results is crucial. Why? You go to Google, you search something. Very rarely, I would say over 90% of the times, you would click on some of the first 10 results on page number 1. Very rarely would you go to page number 2 or 3. And that's why I started with the joke of where to hide a dead body in today's world. It would be on second page of Google search results because nobody goes to page number 2 in most cases, right? So the question is, how do we get our websites to rank high on Google search results? There's a plethora of ways. Google considers over 200 signals in order to rank a website, over 200. It's like this secret recipe. It's like sorry, did you say something? Okay, I think somebody's microphone is unmuted. I apologize. So what's important for us is to understand that Google is going to give you the best, most relevant results that it believes is going to match your search query. Okay. So over 3.5 billion searches happen every single day. That's a number. That's a number from internetlivestats.com. Over 3.5 billion searches a day. And people go to Google for any question or problem they have to find the answer. So in today's world, it's it's great about technology. We need to understand artificial intelligence. There's so much happening, but if you think about it, at the heart of it, it's about people. Google wants to know the intention of
तो
the person searching,
मैक्सिमम से
the
अपील
person
बोल दो
seeking.
2-3 तारीख के अंदर देना रहा आओ, नहीं तो कहाँ तुम ना सहूलत हो चलेगा म्हणजे बात करे बिना म्हणजे शर्म आती है पढ़ो एक टाइम दो तो हर महीना मुझे पूछना तो मुझे शर्म आती है तुम लोगों के साथ देर करना तो समझ में आता है
Is there like a host or someone who could just mute the disturbance, please?
Sorry, sir. I have muted the audience participant. I'm kindly sorry. You can continue, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Guys, just want to highlight on this on a lighter note. That's exactly how things goes viral, and that's like one way of marketing. Trust me.
Okay. So here we go. Ranking on Google is very important. Like I told you, the higher your rank is, the chances of people clicking and visiting your website, getting the traffic to your website increases drastically. Okay. So as a search engine marketer, as a search engine optimizer, your job is to first understand what the intention of the person searching is. Now, here I'm going to give you a little bit of something called customer lifecycle. In today's world, we use the online medium such as Google, and there are 3 stages to this life cycle. First one is awareness. So people go to Google and say, how to lose weight. Right? That's a very popular search right now, how to lose weight. That's called the awareness stage. Now, people have become aware that there is a problem. They think that they are overweight, or they are overweight and they want to lose weight, right? That's the problem. They become aware. Then your content should basically talk about how they could get fit, become healthier rather than lose weight. Then you talk about diets, yoga, exercises, weight training, or whatever the case may be, you'll talk about that. That's what your content should be about. Next, when people read all of this and they're like, wow, okay, now I know that these are the different approaches that I have. I want to zoom in on a couple of things, perhaps like yoga. I want to learn yoga so that I could get fit. I could become lean and mean looking and all that. Or I might consider a diet, maybe a keto diet. So that's the second stage in the customer life cycle. Awareness, when people become aware that there is a problem. The second stage is called consideration stage, where they become aware of the different solutions that may be available at their disposal. So they're going to compare between yoga versus keto diet, or a combination of that. That's called the consideration stage. As you start reading and learning more about it, you become very clear about what it is that you want. And finally, you're on to the third stage, which is about the buying stage. Now, at this stage, you'd be thinking yoga training in Bangalore, yoga training in New Delhi, wherever you are, for example, yoga studio, learn yoga in Maharashtra. Whatever the case may be, basically, those keywords represent a buying intention. So, as a search engine marketer, as a digital marketer, as a marketer, at the heart of it, it's about people and what they want. Now, if you understand what they want, you'll be able to provide, and you should be able to create content that solves that problem, offer solutions that'll take care of that problem. Okay, so search engine optimization, search engine marketing are crucial. 150 to 200 micro moments every single day. Average human being goes to Google to find answers. 3.5 billion searches every single day on an average, and it's growing by the second. And there's also the voice search, right? Rajdeep sir and the previous speaker also mentioned about how voice searches are going to be so important. It's going to become more preferred way of asking questions and finding answers. So as a marketer, as a search engine optimizer and marketer, your job is to give the right message to the right time, at the right time to the right person. Right person, right time, right messaging. That's the secret to success, especially with search engine optimization and search engine marketing. please do not forget, regardless of how much technology we have, how much it's going to evolve, at the heart of it is human beings. So when you do marketing, think like your customer. Put yourself in the customer's shoes, understand his or her problems, and see how your solution can make a change, make a difference in their lives, how it can solve the problem. And you will have an upper hand compared to any other company that focuses more on technology, less on people. I wish you all the best. Thank you. And over to you, Rajdeep sir. Sir, your microphone is muted. Rajdeep sir, your microphone is muted.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, Manjunath sir, for that very insightful thing, that solving customer problems and thinking like a marketer is very, very important. In fact, there was a very interesting story of Eurostar, which was a train which ran from London to France, and it used to take around 3.5 hours. And then they asked the engineers, the passengers used to feel bored, and they said, we want to reduce the time by nearly 40 minutes. So the engineers proposed a 8 billion pound restructuring of the railways, which would reduce the time by around 45 minutes. So you'll reach from London to France in around 2 hours 45 minutes. And they said 8 billion pounds. When the same problem was offered to a marketing person, he said, I can solve this problem in 1 billion pounds. And they said, what? So he said, hire the topmost models, male and female, and ask them to hand over wine in the particular compartments. And they tried that out in the same train. After 1 week, they got requests to actually slow down the train. So this is how a marketer thinks. So that was the story of Eurostar. So let's think of it next time to hire models in our trains. We'll never have late comers and everybody will ask them to slow down the train. So with that perspective, let's move to our third speaker, who is an analyst and who does a lot of research. So over to you, Ms. Sonakshi Singh. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Am
sir.
I audible, everyone?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi. So, Rajiv sir, one thing, I'm really enjoying your example, especially the Eurostar example that you have given just now. So, hi everyone. While my introduction has already been given, but I just would like to tell you a bit about myself. I'm a marketing researcher by profession. And my job role is to understand marketing problems, speaking to the consumers, and provide consumer understanding to the marketing teams, such that they can make informed decisions, on a day-to-day basis about their businesses. Right? I have witnessed the shift in focus of clients' marketing team over the last few years across many companies. And being a part of the organization that I work in, I have been fortunate enough to work across categories, be it BFSI, be it telecom, be it apparel and lifestyle. So I will speak about my own understanding of the way marketing happens here in Hansa, as well as the experience that I have got from the client side. Yeah. The shifts that I'm talking about have become more pronounced during the COVID times. And this also dictates how the future of marketing will change in the coming times. So the first change that I noticed, that many companies now have realized, importance of data and the data mining. Now, when I'm saying data and the data mining, this is something that has been, talked about for the last few years. But when I'm talking about these topics, I'm not only talking about from the online company's perspective, but all from mid-size, large size, small, medium, both offline, online kind of companies. So we see that companies have started having two important realizations. Realization number one, that it is important to collect data, right? We see a lot of companies, those who have more physical presence, it is not easier for them to collect data. But now they are realizing that it is important to collect the data. It is important to know their customers, right? The second realization that the companies have, that there are a lot of companies who are sitting on the customer data gold mine, but they are not doing anything about it. So the second realization that companies have lately is to understood the importance of the internal data in aiding marketing decisions and understanding how to use the data. So we see a lot of companies have started investing in data collection and data mining. We see companies investing in technologies, as Avantika said, AI, machine learning. I have seen many companies establishing their data teams over the last few years. And this is going to continue even more strongly in the future. The future of the marketing will be dependent on the data and how well the companies mine this data to use in the decision making, right? One example that I can think of is of the largest apparel retailer of the country, who's also our client, has introduced this feedback mechanism in their stores at a pan-India level. They started collecting customers' feedback when customers visited their stores, both buyers and non-buyers, and later they use the data to make better decisions. Some of the things that they were doing with the data was to find out which products are doing well and not well in the first week of the launch itself, so that they can align their buying and merchandising strategy accordingly. Understanding the kind of fashion and the price point going off the shelf by different zones in the country, by different states, by different cities, etc., to aid in the better marketing decisions, right? To also understand that why people are not buying, to basically analyze the non-buyers and what are their pain points. So this is the power of the data. However, the companies, the problem is not having the problem is not having no data to use. The problem is having too much data and understanding how to best use the data to basically aid in the decision making, right? So that is one change that I am seeing across organizations, across mid, large, small size organizations. The second thing that I am witnessing is the fast adoption of digital channel, right? If I talk about my industry, research, most of the fieldwork in India, as was still face-to-face, unlike many developed nations where the collection of the data is already moved online. Now, during COVID times, fieldwork was completely shut down because you cannot do any face-to-face interviews to take customers' feedback and to help marketers in understanding what is happening, what is the customer sentiment, what is their mood in the COVID time, how can we help them, to make their lives better through our products, right? So there were a lot of questions which were coming to us, but there was no way that we could do the fieldwork face to face. Now, what I saw is that the companies who have already invested in digital interface, developing panels, survived much better than those who have not invested on these platforms. Right? We at Hansa had developed our interfaces and panels much before, and we were investing in these technologies for a long time now. And these capabilities even got further strengthened during the COVID times. And one specific example that I remember is that I was doing this study for Niti Aayog, Government of India, where we were evaluating two large schemes in education and job skills to be included in the 15th Finance Commission. And now there was no way that the fieldwork can be stalled. But the lockdown happened and we had like about 30% of the fieldwork is still remaining. But since we had developed a lot of other technologies like online, telephonic, we had panels, we had other infrastructures to be in place, we could finish the research and our findings got included in the 15th Finance Commission. It then really helped in improvising those schemes. So it is very, very important to adopt digital. Companies, which I have seen in my clients also, those who have adopted the digital channels, they could survive better, and those who have not had faced a lot of issues. When it comes to my client, we see rising interest in understanding the omni-channel behavior of consumers. Consumer purchase journey currently isn't as simple as it used to be. Like it was physical only. Now consumers are checking online, buying offline, checking offline, buying online. There is a shift in various stages of the purchase journey. So it is very important for the companies to understand that and develop their strategies, marketing strategies accordingly, right? So in terms of the entire customer purchase journey, when I see currently, I see three things that the marketing team should do. One is that there has to be a smooth and tech-enabled, safe physical retail experience, given the COVID times, and we don't see this getting over anytime soon. The second is making omni-channel journey friction-free and uniform, right? And most important is to give human touch to the digital journey, right? The digital cannot be just a digital, it has to humanize, right? And a lot of companies are doing a lot of things. Again, as Avantika said, AI and ML will play a huge role here. So what I also feel is that companies are at different level of digital adoption. Some has to think of digitizing the physical, which have still not thought about it. But digitizing the physical is not only enough in the current environment. We also have to think of humanizing the digital for ensuring customer delight. And marketing has a huge role to play in this, right? The other challenges that I see specifically from COVID-19 perspective and what we have done specifically around this is that consumers expect all brands to be human. COVID-19 has redefined priorities for all of us. All over the world, people can feel each other's pain. Consumer expect action not only from their government, not only from fellow citizens, but they also expect action from the brands, right? So brands can not only think of the corporate interest, and any brand which only think of corporate interest will be called off in the long run. In research also, if I give you example of my industry, interviewers are the backbone of the research industry. And during COVID-19, research companies have come together to support the interviewers when there was no work, right? The other thing that we have done in the research is to focus on the customers that we already have, right? During COVID-19, when the research business was really impacted, we basically focused on our long-term customers. We helped them in understanding what is going on in the consumer's mind during COVID times. In many cases, we have not charged or charged a very minimal amount. This helped in developing more meaningful and more deeper relationship with our customers. We then was seen as a team and not as a agency who is servicing their clients, right? So these are some of my learnings, and these are some of the things which I feel will be relevant even in the future. And these are the strategies which I am going to follow in my industry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sonakshi, for telling us data is the new oil. The oil prices are going up, but data is the new oil. And I remember a quote of the founder of Influence, N.R. Nairamuthy, used to say, "We trust in God, but believe in data." And it's so true. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation spends millions of dollars to create quinine to cure malaria in the African sub-Saharan countries, but it didn't work. But one data fact that malnutrition is causing diseases, and they spent on cultivation, has reduced malaria by nearly 56% in South Africa. Shift because of the correct data can lead to the best possible results. So thank you so much, Sonakshi, for that wonderful insight. And now we go to the campaign specialist and the marketing director of Siemens Digital, Mr. Mohammad Dani. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Madhwani, and I'm happy that all of the speakers so far think so alike, and you agree that data is the king. Now, we all have talked about the tools, the technologies that we might be using. That was about machine learning, artificial intelligence, search engine marketing, and the micro moments. That's something that's very interesting to know, that we do around 150 to 200 touches every day. But then where I think about the future, or maybe when I say about reinventing of the marketing of the future, I would like to add that there is something we have been doing the same thing ever since. Let's say I'll just take you to 100-year-old example. Procter and Gamble, during the days of Great Depression, they were facing trouble selling their soaps. There was nobody buying soaps, and they had a trouble with that. Now what they did, they went on to Ma Perkins, a radio show, and they started advertising their soaps there, and their sales were so high, and they have never looked back from there. Now again, that's all the data, because all the women used to watch or hear that show, and they advertised at the right point, at the right time, and to the right person. But then, are we doing anything different today? We are still trying to do the same thing, but we are just doing it better than ever. But all the tools and technologies, given the COVID-19 situation in 2020, it has just shaved off a few years of advancement of technology. We have just rushed into it. And I know, and probably everyone will agree, that we just had to go back to our drawing boards restructure and resketch our marketing plans, restructure our communication and the messaging that we had to go, because before the COVID-19 situation, just 7% of the people were working from home, and or maybe it was less in India. And today we have more than 45% people are working from home. And that is where I feel that the need of individualized marketing campaigns needs to be in place. It is no more a demography based, or it is no more a community based, a locality based communication. It's all on the phone, it's all on your laptop. It is just all digital, and all you need to do is to just reach to that person with your communication. Now, bringing together AI, machine learning, how do we do that? I think everybody has talked about it, but then how do we do this? How do we reach out to that person? How does AI and machine learning play an important role to get that communication to the right person? So let's say I have got a database of emails of 45,000 people. So the primitive way of doing that was, I have to just send it today. I'll just put it into the tool and write in the communication and send it across. That's it. And that resulted into 1% or less open rate. But then the informed ways, most of the emails are opened on Tuesdays morning between 8 to 10. So that I do that, a little bit of informed uh, campaign, and I end up making it to 2%. Then I have machine learning here. Machine learning, what it does is, Manjunath will agree, Avantika will agree, that we create a huge amount of data on a daily basis, and that data creates our persona into a system. It knows that I have made a post on LinkedIn, I have made a post on Twitter, and immediately after that post, I go on to read an article onto a news site, and then I go and check my emails. So that's the data I have created. It's not just search engine marketing; it's about everything, and the machine is knowing, and machine is all knowing about us. And then I realize that, okay, this particular person goes and checks his emails at immediately within 30 minutes after tweeting or after posting something on LinkedIn. Now, that is where it is a amalgamation of human and technology. And then comes artificial intelligence into place, and artificial intelligence decides, okay, so I have to wait. This email needs to go within 30 minutes of when this person tweets, or I have to send it to a particular news site because he's going to search for a white paper, and that news site will guide him to that white paper. So that is how I think the future of marketing is going. We are going to get into highly customized campaigns designed for individuals. Now that brings me to the content, because everybody may not be relevant for every content. So that is where, again, the MLs, the AIs, or the data that we drive or the data that we acquire will decide what content has to be watched by which person. So you, I, or anyone else, all three of us may receive a same email, but with a different call for action for a different content that we have to consume. Now that branches out later. I have watched the white paper, you have watched the video, and somebody else has watched the case study. And that is going to branch out into something else, where somebody who's watched the video needs, or the system identifies that that person is going to seek more information. So that is that he's sent to a certain relevant page on the website. So now, with the individual way of approach to marketing, or to the campaigns that we create, we also reach out to the content. We also go out back into the demographics. Again, a certain geography may have a different way of looking at things. Let's say, for example, in Japan, people read more. In India, people watch more when it comes to the content that they want to do for a professional understanding. So that's how the everything that my colleagues have said about data, about artificial intelligence, about machine learning. So we all create a huge amount of data on a daily basis. We need in the future, and I'm sure that it's already there. Uh, we need in the future that there are self-driven automated tools that can help us. So the machine or the intelligence is not going to replace a human brain. The human brain still remains the same, but the way we communicate is going to change. We are not competing. it's like it's like a tool to the mind. So I hear a lot of people talking about that. If this is going to happen, then what will the marketers do? It's not going to be like that. It's going to be a marketer is going to make use of that weapon or the tool that is made available to him to make a better, a more informed decision and help the audience make a more informed decision. So you mentioned about Google and Alexa. So don't you foresee that there is some time, just like Alexa is suggesting you a song, why not that Alexa is going to know more about you and going to suggest you a product to buy? And if you want to buy a phone, Alexa may come back and tell you, okay, why are you buying this phone? Maybe this phone works better because you take more photographs. Okay, so individualized and pinpointed targeted campaigns with the help of automation tools is going to be the future, in my opinion, Manjunath. Anything, any questions or anything? I think we are going to take it later.
Yeah,
So,
we'll take it later.
Yeah, that's it from my end. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for telling us that individualized marketing is the important key, because I had heard some time back that marketing is going to go so mass that by 2030 you'll have advertisements on the moon. And imagine you're walking with your wife on a beautiful moonlit night and say your face is looking like the moon, and you look up and it says this moon is brought to you by the anti-pimple cream Clearasil. Even if you wouldn't have noticed the pimple, you start noticing it. But as a famous marketer said, that when marketing becomes mass, the M becomes silent. So what you talked about, individual marketing, is very, very important. And Alexa may not only suggest you to buy a watch, sir, she might suggest you a life mate also next time. So why don't you go out with this girl or this boy? So thank you so much, sir. And we'll move on to the last panelist, last but not the least, right from USA, Mr. Parasaran.
Hey, thank you, thank you again. I mean, I think I kind of echo most of the thoughts that the other panelists here have told about the future of what marketing is going to be. So, I mean, I just have a few points that I wanted to add. I mean, the customer experience is kind of shifting from just the product to the overall service. So the focus right now is not just only on the product, but as an overall bundled service offering, so that they are able to just not sell the product, but sell it as a comprehensive package, which is what most of the customers so when you're, say, for example, when you're trying to buy an air conditioner, you're no longer trying to just look only at the product. You're trying to look at the entire service, right from installation to post installation warranty, support, and service. So essentially that's one major drift that I'm seeing has happening. Number two is, especially when COVID had happened, there's been a major drift in terms of reimagining the way most of the companies were operating, especially in the pharma space. I can just speak for myself, where most of the content and promotion has always been happening in person. Suddenly, just you wake up one fine day, you're no longer going to go and meet your doctors to promote your product, right? So we had to just go back to the boardroom to kind of reimagine the way that we are going to have engagements with our doctors and our patient community and our distributor community. So overnight, it all just shifted from being in person to digital. Again, most of the folks spoke about engaging in a digital platform and how we are customizing, having personal connect with the target audience and stuff. So that's going to, again, we are continuing to see fruits of that. And I mean, there's also not just that that the platform is changing, but it also helps drive overall efficiencies, and it also helps improve or optimize our overall costs, personal travel, and all those stuff. So all those expenses are gone down, but there's going to be an increased spend on the digital platforms and the way that we engage. So, and also creation of content to make sure that it's more and more engaging with the patient, with the doctors and the patient and the customer community, right? Data is king. Everybody is now continuing to rely on data, and many of the stuff is just continuing to switch to an online platform. even the pharmaceutical industry has been seeing a lot of stuff moving to an online platform. Like, for example, what used to be traditionally through a mom and pop store or through a medicinal shop is all moving to an online platform again, which generates a ton of data, and which, as rightfully said, will have a clear impact on customer behavior and how each of the stuff are being trending, and try to make meaningful decisions. So in my mind, again, data is king. There's a shift in overall from product to a comprehensive service, and shift from shift from broad mass campaigns to targeted audience based campaigns, which is here to stay and for the future. That's essentially my capsule of thoughts right now.
Thank you, sir, for telling us about how service is so important, and there is no point in just pushing the product down the throat of a customer unless you give the right service. There was a salesman who walked into a locality and he knocked the door of a lady, and as soon as the lady opened the door, he threw a bucket of cow dung on the ground and he said, "Madam, if my vacuum cleaner doesn't clean up this cow dung in the next 3 minutes, I am ready to eat this entire cow dung." The lady smiled at him and said, "You can start eating it now itself because there's no electricity in the house. So unless you give the service along with the product, there is no use." So thank you so much, Mr. Parasanan, for giving us that proper perspective. Now we move on to round two of this panel discussion, where I ask a common question to all the panelists and they can speak for around 2 or 3 minutes on the question. So the question which I had circulated was, uh, with your experience in marketing and the changing paradigm of marketing, what should organizations do at this particular point of time? So, as the paradigm of marketing is changing with the new normal, what should organizations do? So, we'll go back to Avantika and we'll ask her, what should organizations do?
Right. So, I mean, here, all of us have echoed the same thought that, the metadata or the big data is something which help us to analyze the buying behavior, analyze the overall, customer journey or a consumer, right? You need to really understand your consumer, right?
Mhm.
So, I personally feel that, extraction of the metadata and, a targeted marketing is something which all the organizations should look forward for, and how to make it things more virtual, how to expedite on the online channels is what every organization should look out for, considering the fact that, I mean, we are in a pandemic, and this situation is absolutely not going to change for next 6-8 months. So yeah, that's my.
Ma'am, so what have you done to build so much of partnerships in clear tax? I've seen
Yeah.
the list has been so impressive. What have you done, Avantika? What's the secret sauce for your success in clear tax and then with urban clap? What did you do as an organization there? What was the focus and how did you manage to create so many partnerships and alliances?
So, well, the secret I would suggest is that, whenever anybody is getting into the partnership, you should always look forward for, apart from the synergies or the possibilities that you are exploring, what is
Mm,
that you can provide to your partners also.
mm,
That's
mm,
exactly where the difference comes in. Because, I mean, while we get into any kind of partnership, it is always our motive that we look forward for. However, in, like, I'll give you example. Like, I mean, we are, as I said, that, we are partnered with 28 plus banks. So
mm,
here, I mean, just to name a few, like SDFC, ICICI, Kotak,
mm,
Axis Bank, right? So
mm,
while we partner with these banks, we need to we actually understand what is that their consumer needs, right? So the very first thing is the need identification. Second is how can we actually give out, curate the need. Third is that, how best can we provide the services, and fourth is definitely understanding the customer satisfaction and understanding your NPS score. At the same time, you should always look forward to be open and vocal about what your partners also need in terms of their fulfillment. Hence, that alliance is something which has kept me going always.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. You echo the thoughts of that great speaker, Zig Ziglar, who used to always say, you can get in life whatever you want if you help enough other people get what they want. So getting
Thank you so
towards,
much.
yeah, thank you so much. And let's go to Manjunath. In this changing paradigm, what do you think, Manjunath, should organizations do other than take your training and consultancy?
Yeah, they should absolutely do that. They should get my training and consulting because I'm going to show the path. But I do agree with your points. Everybody who spoke, you spoke about how important it is for us to collect the data, really understand, and then implement your strategy. Now, when I teach my students, it is very obvious. I spend a ton of time really on doing research, really finding out what customers really want. Sometimes it might require you to talk to your staff, like a salesperson, for example, or you would have to talk to the call center representative who is actually answering the question. Like Mr. Parasaran said, I think the overall perspective of the business now is not just about buying the product once and it's over. It is about a lifetime value, LTV, as we call it in the world of digital marketing. It's about overall experience and how many times could we get the customer back to us buying more and more from us. And all that, I think the foundational aspect is about doing research, understanding your customer needs. And I repeat that regardless of whether it's 1980s or 2010s and now 20s, it's always been about the customer, understand their needs. If it's about search engine optimization marketing, that's what I specialize in. I do a thorough work in terms of understanding what are some of the search terms that are really trending and which would make sense if I created content around that. That would make that would resonate with my target customers. So when you think about small or medium-sized businesses, I still don't see artificial intelligence and machine learning as prevalent. Okay, those are big terms to me. I'm a small guy here. So when I'm dealing with small businesses and medium-sized businesses, it's the same thing. Understand your customers, really create a customer persona. What is your target customer like? Define the demographics. What are their interests? Where do they like to spend time mostly? Understand that, and you'll be able to advertise, share your messages to the right people at the right time. That's the whole thing that I focus on. Thank you, sir. Is there any other question?
Manjunath, but don't you think with the attention span shrinking, I was reading a survey the other day which said that 58% of all viewers switch off from the page after just 1 minute or 1.5 minutes, or actually change the video after 2 minutes. So what do you do to engage them longer with your clients, or how do they stay? What do you do with the shrinking attention span? They say that the attention span of a consumer is now less than a goldfish. A goldfish can keep its concentration for around 6 minutes, but not an human being with all your WhatsApp and this and that.
Yes, unfortunately, that is true. So when I make a video, for example, I want my clients to do something to really grab the attention immediately. That could be just getting to the point very quickly. Now, from a search engine perspective, if I have to write a blog post, an article, I'm expected to write a minimum of 1,500 words, 1,500, 2,000, even higher. That's how Google gets my attention. Okay, that's how search engine optimization works. Unfortunately, when you are writing content for your client or whatever, it's important for you to get to the answer as quickly as possible and then explain. All my content is cannibal. There will be bullet points, headlines, images, all that mixture makes the content engaging. Now, if people are really interested, for example, if I want to spend like 10,000 rupees to buy a good smartphone, you know what? I don't mind spending time. I've spent nights watching YouTube videos, watching reviews, looking at all the different aspects, whether it's the specs, the camera, the prices, and all that good stuff. So I believe that if your customer is really serious about buying your product, they wouldn't mind spending the time. But having said that, you should be able to grab their attention, whether it's a blog post or a video, to get and keep their attention. The first few seconds are crucial. I couldn't stress on that enough.
Very true, very true. It's always said you never get a second chance to make a first good impression. So thank you so much, Manjunath, for giving us that perspective. Now we head into the depth of research with Sonakshi ma'am. Sonakshi. Sonakshi Singh, are you? I can't hear you.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. So since my work is all around the data, what I feel is that I mean, everybody is talking about big data analysis, but something that we need to ensure while doing the analysis is to how to use the data, right? This is the data about our customers, and this is a very, very important data that we have. Hence, it is very important that organizations should watch out for data security and ensure that data is used but not misused. Because otherwise, you will lose the battle before you will even begin it, right? So that is my one thing that I keep telling everyone. The other thing is that since everybody is going on to the digital platform, just going on to the digital platform is not only the requirement, but how can you provide the human touch on the digital platform, and how can you make the the omni-channel that you have more uniform for the customer, so that they can have a friction-free experience, is very, very important. So I think these are the few things that the clients should focus on currently.
Very truly said. The human touch. It's a very famous saying in marketing that your pocket is closer to the heart than to your head.
I think you need to unmute Manjuna. Sorry, Mr. Manwani.
Yeah, Mr. Manwani, we are not able to hear.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. It's very wonderfully said that your pocket is closer to your heart than to your head. So even if you're targeting data, you have to get into the emotions and the heart of the customer. And so truly said Sonakshi ma'am. So I just wanted to ask you a question, that you were talking about data use and misuse. Can you give us some example of how data has been misused in your field, especially in research, and what has been the remedy for that?
So when I was talking about the data use and misuse, I was talking more in a general sense. In terms of the misuse of the data, there are a lot of examples, FB, data leakage, and other things. So what we are seeing is that the clients are also collecting data internally, and they are mining the data for the better marketing decisions. So what we basically need to do is to use that data carefully. In the research field, whenever we collect the data, we always ensure that the data is never misused, and hence we always tell the client that we are only here to provide the consumer insights and not do any marketing. So sometimes when client asks for the consumer's data and ask for the respondent information, we have to deny those things, or we provide the information if it is for the quality check separately from what people have said. So so that it can only be analyzed at an aggregate level. So the data misused, there are clearly laid out norms in research so that it is avoided for the consumers. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that perspective. And let's come to Mr. Mohammad Danish.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Manwani. Okay, yeah. So what we need to look out for is the marketing automation going forward, because I'm sure that going forward, marketing is going to get far more complex, and this line between technology, marketing, sales, operations is blurring all the time. We don't realize when we are entering into each other's domain. But then Sonakshi is 100% correct that it's about data security. Now, I'm also going to ask the organization to look out for how to stand out among so many brands. Everybody is going to talk to them. Everybody is getting digital, but how do they gain their attention? So that is where the respect of a consumer about data privacy, without sounding intrusive, they don't have to get into customers' head and their inbox, their messaging everywhere. They don't have to. All they have to do is to just be with the right content at the right time and to the right person. I may not be a right person to buy a very costly car, but they don't need to advertise to me. But then if they have come across selling me a car, I see a post on my LinkedIn, I see something on my Twitter, I see something in my inbox, I may actually start disliking it because I don't need that. So that is how one of the ways data is abused, because they don't do the proper persona based approach. Apart from data leakages, that is something very serious, and I think the the GDPR law is taking care of that big time, and in India also is going to be implemented. So I think we are going to be a little more better off with that kind of a situation. But abusing data uh, by targeting everyone with everything is something that I would not recommend. Another thing that I would like the organizations to look out for is the vendors they are working with, their marketing vendors. They need to be progressive. I think those days are gone when there was a separate events agency, there was a separate email marketing agency. I think they are all getting into one, and the organizations need to look out for vendors which are going to do a 360-degree approach for them. That is how probably in some way or the other the marketers are going to reduce their headache of reaching out to the customer, plus give them their ultimate target, the audience, the right kind of environment, a very conducive environment to take a call for action as we want to advertise. Another thing is that probably other marketers would agree that what we have learned is that we need to secure some portion of marketing budget for contingencies. We did not prepare for that. What happened? And we went all over scrambling for budget. Now there are two kinds of organizations. One is those who see this as an expense, which I totally discourage. Marketing is not an expense. Marketing is an investment. So in case of situations like these, organizations need to invest a little more of percentage into their marketing budgets. They have to infuse more budget into marketing if they want to continue to do whatever they want to do or they want to achieve. So marketing budgets is something that I would recommend for organizations to start doing that if they have not been doing it yet. So that's all I would recommend for the organizations going forward.
Now I know, sir, why you are the director marketing of Siemens Digital. Very subtly, he told to look out for the right vendors who give you 360-degree solution, and Siemens Digital does that. We'll send you a publicity bill later on, sir. And you also told look at your marketing budget. I know many organizations will be willing to pay you. So brilliant, sir. Amazing how you brought on your own marketing campaign in the way. No wonder you're such a great marketing guru, sir. Keep it up, sir, Mohammed.
So one more.
I'm very impressed, sir. You subtly promoted Siemens Digital without naming it, but we'll all look out for it, sir. Keep it up.
No, but I think there's one more thing I would like to add. Siemens Digital is not marketing at all.
Yeah, I know. It is.
It is industry automation software.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got it. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank
you.
So.
Another thing, just before we leave, I just have something. So Mr. Manjunath mentioned about smaller organizations, and they may not be able to adopt AI and ML, but I don't think I probably would want us to relook at this or reconsider that idea, because there are organizations like, for example, HubSpot. They give you a free account and any organization can go and start using that. So that is now, okay, so internet, what it was in 2000 or rather in 1997, AI is today for us. Internet was ugly. Internet was more or less useless for us back then. But then today, it's so important. So similarly, fast forward it 2 decades, and in 2019, 2020, AI is the same thing as it was internet. So when I created my email in 1997, I had nobody to send it to. There was nobody who had an email back then. So I didn't use it for a long time. And in 2007, I think, or 8, there was WhatsApp launched in India. I downloaded, but I had nobody to send a message to. I uninstalled. So we need to have that environment. We need to look at, smaller organizations who are able to take baby steps. They don't have to deploy a huge amount of budget into. They can start taking smaller steps, one step at a time, invest into something, and then it grows. The organization grows, their investment grows, their tools grow. So that's how I would want to rather look at it.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you for that, because I remember the first email was Hotmail. Started by Sabir Bhatia, and he labeled it Hotmail on HTML, and he added O and A and I in the middle. So thank you so much, sir. And let's go to the last panelist, Mr. Parasaran, who will give us his perspective on what organizations should do.
Yeah, so I mean, I think all organizations should continue to continue to invest more in the digital platform, continue to invest more in customizing the content that they intend to deliver to their customers. They need to continue to invest in data, which is what is going to continue to help them do the points that I just mentioned about, and continue to focus on giving an overall experience rather than just focusing on just the product at this point in time. These will be my suggestions.
But sir, you can say that because Cipla is making a lot of money during this pandemic, pharmaceuticals and all. But what about other companies who are not making so much money? How do they continue investing?
See, I mean, it's again, as you rightly said, it's an investment for growth, right? I mean, if you
Okay.
need to, if you need to continue to invest if you intend to grow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's every industry had its share of challenge. I mean, before pandemic, probably the pharma industry had many other challenges which probably did not exist then, right? So, which probably turned into an opportunity now, and we continue to invest on those initiatives, which is why we were able to just ramp up seamlessly at this time.
Wonderful, sir. Just one more small question. What's the time now, sir, in the US?
It's about 10 a.m.
Oh, wonderful, sir. Good. So, anyway, good morning again, sir. And we'll get
Yep.
back to you. And now we'll open up the discussion for questions from the audience. Just we have a few minutes left. So, a few more questions and we'll wind up today's session. So, anybody from the audience, I won't be able to see the chat box. You'll have to read it out for me, Smita, ma'am, or
yes, so there's a question, and the question has come up from Mr. Wasim Sheikh. He says COVID-19 has impacted almost all industries, but the impact on the hospitality industry and travel industry is huge and negative one. So what should be done to bring these industries back on track, and how marketing can contribute to recovery?
Okay, and if you're asking the question, if you want to specify the person to whom you want to ask it, or anybody in general can answer it, please mention that also when you're mentioning the question.
It's not been mentioned there, sir.
Okay,
so
anyway,
I guess
anybody can take this up. Anybody wants to say, how does the hospitality and the hotel industry deal because of the pandemic? Anybody wants to take it up?
Let me take an attempt on this one, and maybe others can add. So hospitality and travel has been impacted. I was hearing Marriott CEO, and he said that we are hit worse than we were hit in the Great Depression time. We are worse than that this time. But then what I see is I was looking at an advertisement which was in Dubai, and Dubai has been trying to promote their travel because Dubai is also very travel dependent. Now, what they did was they launched a new campaign and actually a new service, and the campaign was for that service that work from anywhere, and they were giving visas. That if you want to work from Dubai, come over, fly over to Dubai and start working from here. And they were allowing to do that. So that is probably, one, I was impressed by that. I could see that there is some innovation which is being done. If you can't travel for leisure or pleasure, you can travel for work. But then ultimately it's the travel industry which is going to get benefited out of it. So that's something I think that the recovery can be done by making more people travel when they cannot for pleasure. They can travel for work, and then travel industry can provide or maybe give them the additional features like I think we already have, that the safety, they can safely travel is what I mean to say. So that's how I think I can comment on that.
Yeah, they have to be innovative. Like, how we've seen all the film stars going to Maldives. Maldives had an ad line before the pandemic. It was 1% land, 99% fun, because it had 1% of the land volume of the world. But now its ad campaign says 0% COVID, 100% fun. So, so they have to look at innovative ways, especially for destinations and tourism, and hotels have to show that, demonstrate the safety. And if you've seen aeroplanes like Indigo now saying the clean, lean flying machine instead of calling it the aircraft. So they're doing everything to do make it as safe and make it as enjoyable as possible. So I know there are no straitjacket solutions, but I think so they have to think innovatively. Thank you so much, Mohammed sir, for that answer, Danish sir.
Thank
Any
you.
more questions, ma'am?
No, so there are no more questions in the chat box.
Okay, so should we wind up the session for today?
Sure, sir.
There was this.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, sir. Please carry on. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, ma'am, you have anything you want to?
Yeah, I deem it my privilege to thank and extend heartfelt gratitude to the moderator and panel speaker for spending your valuable time and enriching the session and knowledge of the participants on behalf of the Faculty Research Cell, Samshodhana, School of Commerce, Jain deemed to be university. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for devoting your valuable time and sharing your thoughts and knowledge. Thank you so much.
Thank you, all of y'all. Thank you, the audience, and thank you, everybody. And hope we can reinvent the future of marketing. There's a beautiful saying by G.K. Chesterton which says, "There is no dearth of wonders in the world. There is only a dearth of a wonder in a human being." So let us keep wondering. Let us keep innovating. And marketing has also been defined as making familiar things new and new things familiar. So let's explore this very fantastic view of marketing and see how we can reinvent the future of marketing. Thank you, all of you all. It's been a great pleasure hosting this. And thank you, all the panelists, Avantika ji, Sonakshi, Manjunath sir, Mohammad Danish sir, and Parsaran. It's been an absolute privilege hosting all of you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for having us.
Thank you,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you so much.
Continuing with today's conference, I request Dr. Yogita S. Garwal, Assistant Professor, School of Commerce, Jain deemed to be university, to present the compiled report for the day.
Very good evening to all present in the virtual second international conference on redefining human resource and marketing management perspectives. This is Dr. Yogita S. Garwal, Assistant Professor, Jain deemed to be University, Bangalore, and I'm here to present today's valedictory conference report. Today's function started at 9:30 a.m. with a salutation and prayer to Almighty for the flourishing conduct of the conference. Welcome address was delivered by Dr. Dinesh Nilkansar, Director, School of Commerce, Director, CMS, Business School, Dean of Management, Jain deemed to be university. He appreciated and encouraged the organizing team for their good lead and efforts for this virtual conference, and also to all the faculty members. He recognized that the role of HR team has become more important and difficult during this pandemic situation. He incited that while the traditional challenges are remaining, new COVID-19 got new related challenges such as digitalization, new perspectives of customers, protecting the health and well-being of employees, ensuring business continuity, and staying on the top of rapid protocol. Every aspect has redefined due to COVID, whether it is finance, marketing, legal, or HR. All important functional responsibility that keep the company in full stride have changed. But there is one person who is being put on the spot to answer the many unexpected questions that companies are facing, and that is HR. He said the companies that come out stronger will be those that have a strong HR function in this COVID situation. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Raj Singh Sir, Jain deemed to be university, addressed the gathering and delightfully appreciated the organizing team for taking up very noteworthy and momentous topic for the conference. He explained the significant changes in technology as a mode and manifestation of being. He said how COVID strike came in 2020 and all changed, which made us to see the best and worst coming out. He incited that the developing countries are facing new normals like new uncertainties, underemployment, excessive debt, and stagnant consumer demand. But there are also few countries which are flourishing a lot. And these countries are having huge pool of skilled laborers and demand are helping. So HR needs to develop things like good transferable skill globally, skill sets to be taken off, talent acquisition, cultural innovation, training and development programs, and digital transformation, etc. At 10 a.m., our first keynote address on the topic, the role of human resources paradigm, was delivered by Ms. Yasmin Sheikh, Senior Director, Human Resources, and member of India Board of Director, DNI, Global Board, Bangalore, Urban, Karnataka, India. She explained that we are stepping outside comfort zone in this COVID situation. So it is very important for the HR to keep going very well, to keep employees safe. She also gave importance to build and nurture relationship, reputation and credibility, demonstrate openness and trust, and have fantastic interpersonal skills. Also, HR needs to revisit the policies, labor laws, which are really changing. Very important, she advised to have fast communication in this present scenario to put rest to speculation. At 10:30 a.m., second keynote address on the topic HR challenges and future of work was delivered by Mr. Abhay Kapoor, HR head, Hindware, Gurgaon. He appreciated HRs to keep employees engaged, to keep going. He incited learning and challenges always remain with us, which will help us in future. He focused on changing in leadership attitude to manage employees, to meet crisis, to rebuild structure of the organization. Various research papers presentation started by 11:30 a.m. and I would like to share with you all that we received an excellent response from various authors from India and abroad for the paper calls for this virtual international conference. The papers were presented in different tracks, and the tracks were Human Resource, track 1 with external chairperson Dr. Neeta Deshpande, internal chairperson Dr. S. Murlidhar, marketing track 2 with external chairperson Dr. Bhargavi, Dr. T. Bhargavi, internal chairperson Dr. L.B. Murlidhar, entrepreneurship track 3 with external chairperson Dr. C. Purnima, internal chairperson Dr. Renu Rati. The best paper awards will be announced by the end of the session. Panel discussion started at 6 p.m. on the topic Reinventing the Future of Marketing with moderator Dr. Rajdeep Manwani, coordinator, Department of Commerce, SCS Jain University. And other panel members, Mr. Frederick Bisberg, who is not present here today, who could not join us today due to his health issues. He was one of the panelists. And Mr. Parasaran VS, Director of Marketing, Cipla USA. Mr. Mohammed Danish, Marketing Director, Siemens Digital Industry Software Asia Pacific. Ms. Sonakshi Singh, General Manager and Head, Bangalore branch, Hansa Research Group Private Limited, Mr. C.M. Manjunath, freelance digital marketing trainer, digital marketing specialist, Ms. Avantika Singh, National Head Strategic Partnership, BFSI, Corporate Alliances and Payroll, Bangalore. And today's session was Ms. Avantika. She incited that AI machine learning are going to play a very important role. And she also highlighted the voice marketing channel to make search easy. And she incited that machine learning is becoming an invaluable tool to help meet those demands of the customer and to help marketer to create customer segmentation. Manjunath sir incited that marketing is about human beings. It is very important to understand whom we are targeting. So when we are, we need to understand personas very well. And he also explained how to get good rank in websites, getting traffic, customer life cycle, and awareness. Ms. Sonakshi Singh shared views on client experiences, she had in her Hansa and various other institute where she worked. An impact of data and data mining, which is very important to know the customers. Also, we should know how to use the data and all. For the future dependency on data is very, very important. So it is very important to have a good mining of data. And customers' feedback is also very important. That's how we can get a very good success in our marketing and all. Mr. Mohammed Danis, he explained the future of marketing, and he gave more importance to restructure of marketing in any organization, which is very, very important. He also explained the need to reach right customers at right time, and also gave importance to have good personas and to have a good branch out properly from there. Mr. Parasan, he added to the panelist view that customers see the complete package when they buy product. So it is very important to satisfy the customers. It is also important to customize the need of customers to create and also to create good customers. Data is the thing, so we should work more on data, which is the future, which is going to be the future of our marketing. Rajdev sir, with a beautiful stories and example, he explained the importance of marketing, and also he explained the changes which is happening in marketing. So thank you all the panelists for this beautiful session, and I would hand over the session to Mika ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, the most exciting and interesting part of a conference is announcement of Best Paper Award. The 3 best papers which have taken the position. The third paper, which was from Human Resource, ICHRMMP 24. The title of the paper was Impact of Job Stress on Employee Engagement Among Nurses During COVID-19 in Government Hospital, Virudhunagar, Tamil Nadu. The paper was presented by Dr. A. Hemamalini and Mrs. C. Revati by Alagappa University. Congratulations, ma'am. The second paper is from the marketing. The title of the paper is Healthcare Marketing, Adoption and Significance in the Competitive Business Environment. The paper was presented by Ms. Sindhu R. Menon from University of Mysore. Congratulations, ma'am. Now, the first position is being owned by the paper from Human Resource, ICHRMMP 31. The title of the paper was Meditating Role of Career Advancement Between Job Autonomy and Job Satisfaction Among Women Employees of Call Centers in India. The paper was presented by Ms. Monica Verma from IMS Engineering College. Congratulations to all the participants for your hard work and the best 3 papers which are being awarded today. I deem it my privilege to propose the vote of thanks and extend a heartfelt gratitude to one and all present here on behalf of the Faculty Research Cells from Shodhana. I would like to thank Dr. Dinesh Neelkant, Director, School of Commerce, for his continuous support and opportunities to be a part of it. I extend my wholehearted thank you to organizing committee, research paper reviewers, conference technical session chair, conference reporter, organizing secretaries, faculty coordinators, technical team, research team member, faculty member, student volunteers, Vandana ma'am, and participants from different parts of India and other countries who have made this conference a success. Thank you, everyone. I would request you all to please fill the feedback form, which is being posted in the chat box. I would also request you all to switch on your videos for the photograph. The link for the feedback form is being sent in the chat box. I request you all to please fill it and submit it as soon as possible. Participants will receive the certificate within 15 days of the conference. I request everyone to switch on your cameras, please. It's me, Megha Garud, signing off as MC for the day. Thanks to all the participants and organizing committee, Faculty Research Cell Shamshodhana, School of Commerce, Jane Dean to University, Bangalore. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, participants and all the faculty members. Chandrika ma'am, you will be receiving the certificates within 15 days of time.
Dikshita ma'am, it will take 1.5 to 2 months time, ma'am. We'll keep you posted with emails.
Ma'am, as informed by Smita ma'am, the paper publication will take almost 1 to 1.5 months. Smita ma'am,
Yes,
there's a
ma'am.
question.
Yeah.
They're asking when to pay fee for additional copy of training.
Yes. So kindly get in touch with the organizing secretaries. They'll keep you posted with and this is already mentioned in the brochure as well. Kindly get in touch with the organizing secretaries, and we will be communicating through email with all of you as well, as and when we have to progress in terms of that. Even with respect to additional copies, sir, you will get a communication.